viewing, the download, the listen. I am joined by the California Kid Mitchell, the Canadian Destroyer Brandon, but podcasting out of the champion section, the reigning, defending, undisputed Bulletcast champion. I'm the Podfather, Philip Antoine. But before we get into this performance-enhancing audio, once again, I'd like to thank everyone who is in Watsonville listening to us on 99.9 FM KDub. You can listen to us online, kdub999.com. They're also on the TuneIn app. And if you have any complaints, contact the program director at 831-722-1122. But ladies and gentlemen...
Don't complain about us, because there's nothing wrong about us. Complain about all the other stuff.
Yeah, all that other station stuff. But let's get into this performance-enhancing audio. Right off the bat, some really big news. Daniel Bryan has been cleared to compete in WWE.
He's back?
He's back. The American Dragon's back.
Good.
What was your initial reaction when you first found out?
I didn't believe it. I thought it might be part of a storyline or something. But I'm glad, and maybe it still is, but I'm glad to see that even if it is, he's definitely cleared and he's back. It's going to be good. It's going to be good to see him wrestle again. I got a lot of friends that never got to see him wrestle because they got into wrestling recently. So they're really excited too.
Brandon, the big D-Bry guy?
The big D?
The big D-Bry guy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've said it on the show before. Daniel Bryan's probably my favorite wrestler of all time. But, you know, I was a little skeptical that it just happens to be a couple weeks out before WrestleMania and they clear him. And his contract's running up. Maybe, you know, they're trying to keep him from going away on the indie scene. And there's a lot of new people coming in. People who's never wrestled before. People he has wrestled before.
Yeah.
So
there's a lot of dream matches to be had right now.
It's going to be fun in the summertime when his contract runs up to see what he does.
Yeah.
I mean, let's just jump into it. Who are some guys you'd like to see him wrestle since he's cleared again?
Brock Lesnar, but Brock Lesnar's not going to be there in time. He's going to be gone.
I also don't know if Brock's in a place right now where he would actually care. So.
All right, what about you?
I mean,
there's a lot more than just Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, easy ones are AJ Styles, Nakamura. They weren't there.
Johnny Gargano.
Aleister Black.
A heel Adam Cole going up against a pure babyface Daniel Bryan.
Be good. I'd enjoy that a
Andrade
lot.
Cien Almas. I want him and Cena to do a little bit more. I think that'd be nice.
Meh. We've gone down that road before.
I mean,
we've gone down that road.
And it's not like a dream matchup, but
it happened once.
And The Miz.
All that I'm waiting for is The Miz.
We need to pay off
The Miz is all I'm waiting for.
Yeah,
I'm kind of disappointed that he's not going to be that as of now he's not facing him at Mania. I'm disappointed that they're not pulling the trigger on that right now.
But
I'm willing to wait.
I mean, congratulations to D-Bry. He's back in the
Strowman.
That'll
be fun. Giant versus.
People relate this to Shawn Michaels coming back, but I think this might be a bigger deal than Shawn Michaels coming back, just because I think there's a lot more people.
I think he's more in his prime than Michaels was when he came back. Michaels was not in his prime, but he surprised us by still being incredible.
I mean, Michaels came back and had probably the greatest second act in wrestling history, you know? Well,
the thing that scares me, there's a lot of stuff you could talk about Daniel Bryan.
Yeah,
the thing that scares me is like its concussions and neck issues, and we can get into it on the SmackDown show. There was one point that kind of was like, oh, Bryan, maybe you shouldn't be, you know,
going all out.
He was when
he was doing the drop kicks in the corner, he was falling right in his head. I was like, really?
He kind of reminded me like, oh wait, I forget every single move you do involves you landing on your head. Maybe that's
he'll probably change up the way he does. Like,
he better not do the diving headbutt. If he does the diving headbutt, I'm gonna be very angry at Daniel Bryan.
Yeah, me too. He is getting checked for he has to get checked after every single match now.
Yes, I've heard of that.
So that's good. I'm happy about that. Like, as much as I love Daniel Bryan, I was more than okay with him never coming back to the ring if it was not safe.
I mean, I knew he was coming back to the ring. I didn't think it'd be in WWE.
I had kind of made peace, like, if he never wrestled again. I'm like, all right, you know, he had...
It's for his own
in, like, a nice 4-year span, he won the Grand Slam. He did a lot of stuff. He hijacked Raw, occupied it. So he did a lot of stuff, you know. Yeah. I was going to be at peace with it. But he's back, and I popped at the announcement, and I kind of popped at the stuff that happened on SmackDown. But for some more outside of the ring, ladies and gentlemen, the Hall of Fame is going to become the Hall of Pain. My boy.
I called it last week.
My boy.
Token black guy is going to get in.
Hey, I said it was going to be Mage.
Have they announced who's inducting him yet?
I don't know. I don't know who really could induct him. Mae Young, unfortunately, she passed away.
Big Show.
You could go Show. You know, they did the whole ring collapse thing. Ron Simmons, the NOD, Nation of Domination.
D-Lo. Bring back D-Lo.
Bring back D-Lo. It's a possibility. No, but congratulations to Mark Henry. Truly deserving the longevity he's had. Came in as the Olympian. Went to the Nation of Domination. Became Sexual Chocolate. Then he was the world's strongest man for a very long time. And then he just up the ante, got the World Championship, the Hall of Fame, and of course we have to talk about the retirement speech against John Cena.
If he doesn't
Honestly,
get inducted in a pink jacket, I'm going to be very disappointed.
It's in the WWE warehouse. He has to have it. Honestly, I felt like they should have gave him the strap during that little run. I wouldn't have been mad with it. You know, Mark Henry, WWE champion at that stage in his career, I would have been fine with it because, you know, he said he had a lot left in the tank.
Mm-hmm.
Congratulations to Mark Henry. Truly deserving. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Roman Reigns kind of broke this last week on, I think it was Hot 97 with Ebro and Peter Rosenberg over in New York. The 50-man Royal Rumble is supposed to be aired on the WWE Network.
Just the entire special.
Yeah, the entire show.
Because almost every title except the women's titles are being defended on that pay-per-view as well.
I know 7 titles will be defended.
It's the Cruiserweight, the IC, the US, the Universal, the Heavyweight, and then I believe the Raw tag, but not the SmackDown tag.
I know 7 titles. That's all I know. I'm not sure.
Do we really care? It's a glorified house show.
Not if it's being televised.
Nothing's gonna happen.
If it's on the network, then
they might do one title change, but I mean, come on.
Does Daniel Bryan win the largest Royal Rumble in history?
Daniel Bryan did say that he will be there. He said he'll be. He said he'll be on it. Do you think they're gonna make the stake? Because as of now we don't know what the stakes of the 50-man battle royal are. Do you think they're gonna have the winner get something?
No more contendership.
When is it?
It's in like April.
A few weeks after Mania.
Yeah, it's a couple weeks after Mania.
So you can't do something for SummerSlam. That's too long.
Yeah, it's too long of a build. I don't know. We'll have to see. I have my own problems with the fact that WWE is running a special like this in a country that doesn't allow women to wrestle. I think that that's a blind spot on WWE's spot right now, and I think that they should have been more careful with that, but that's my own opinion.
Where did they just go recently? Was it Abu Dhabi where, like, the women, they had the first...
It was the first time they'd ever wrestled,
in, like, Power Ranger suits.
Oh, yeah, they had to be fully clothed, you know, due to their heritage and
because,
respect
you know,
over there.
if guys see any skin, their heads are going to explode.
So this one, I get that they're doing it for money, but whatever.
It's what's best for business.
It's what's best for business.
As Vince would say.
Yeah.
All right,
should be a fun special.
Outside of the ring, Hulk Hogan in talks with the WWE.
We'll see. I can tell you that as a wrestling fan, a part of me is more okay with him coming back. I can tell you as someone who has a lot of friends that are not wrestling fans, when it comes up in conversation of like, oh yeah, Hogan might coming back, most people go, no, they'd never let that happen. So the outside opinion of it would be very negative, I think, if he were to come back. Wrestling fans, I think, would be more forgiving because we know him and we love him. But I think non-wrestling fans, I think it would be a very much a bad move on as a company.
And they're doing a Gawker movie, so this whole thing is going to be brought up again.
Yeah.
Well, it's not started yet, but eventually, whenever the production of it gets rolling.
I mean, as the African American Nightmare.
I mean, they showed the WrestleMania 1 highlights on Raw, so I mean, they're not hiding them. They weren't hiding them with Hillbilly Jim either, so I don't know if it's like a thing of who the hell is this guy? I don't care.
All right.
He's creeping me out.
Going into it with Hogan, you know, since I am an African American male.
Yes, because we care about what you think. Proud of the people.
Honestly, you know, I was really just disappointed when I first found out about it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because like it's Hogan, you know.
Yeah.
I've made peace with it. I have. I've forgiven Hulk Hogan. I know I say like he doesn't like black on the pod, and I throw that jab, but like I don't really mean it.
But does he really mean it? I mean, it was more than just the sex tape thing when he said he dropped some N-bombs.
Yeah.
He dropped some N-bombs on some other stuff too.
Yeah. There's a lot of backstage stuff that we, as the fans, don't know that happened back in that time when it was okay or whatever.
It was like 10 years ago.
I'm talking about like other stuff like happened back in the 80s that like they could have said or whatever. But
racism's racism.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've made peace with that point of it because like it's Hogan, you know. Vince built WrestleMania literally on this guy's shoulders, you know. He was involved in the main event of really 9 consecutive Manias.
Mm-hmm.
So you know, it's Hogan. He had some matches when I was a kid, first starting watching wrestling. So I mean, if Hogan comes back, I'm gonna pop. Of course, you know, it's Hulk Hogan. You know,
Mm-hmm.
But does he have to come back? Like he can't be, you know, Mr. America, say your prayers and eat your vitamins and all that stuff. He just can. I think he has to come back as just like Terry Bollea, basically, just like a man. He can't be like this superhero that we have to look up to.
It'll be weird.
Great guy.
I think they're better off not touching that issue, but
give it a little while longer.
Give it a little while longer.
He
It's still
Hillbilly Jim calling it right now. No,
I'm pretty sure I called that, but once again, taking my ideas, that's okay.
that's what I do here. All right, Mania Madness. We're
We are
continuing this.
on to the next round.
Yeah,
Carry on the segment
Sweet
there.
16.
Let us
we
see.
are here.
Let us see the brackets.
So, on to the first matchup. We have WrestleMania X7
Yes.
or 17, whichever way you want to call
X7.
it,
X7.
against last year's WrestleMania 33.
X7 Hunter versus Taker. Austin turned heel.
I mean,
33.
WrestleMania 17 is by far like one of the biggest WrestleManias ever.
Yeah.
It's my
recency biased. Don't be recency biased over here.
Yeah,
last year's WrestleMania was pretty good.
X7 is one of my favorite WrestleManias, but WrestleMania 33 made me cry. So
I teared up a little bit.
and it has God, it's one of those things. Is like, what are some of the greatest WrestleMania moments of all time? You have to think.
Hardys came back at
I think two of the greatest WrestleMania moments happened at 33 with the Hardys coming back and with Taker putting his clothes in the middle of the ring. I think those are two of the greatest WrestleMania moments. It does have Randy Orton versus Bray Wyatt on it, which is one of the worst WrestleMania matches of all time. The women's
This
match
has
is all right.
TLC and it has Rock and Austin.
It's 17. It's X7.
33 has Goldberg Lesnar.
I don't care.
That was a car wreck. It's X7. I mean, the triple threat TLC.
That's 17. Here we go.
The spear.
Yeah,
From
I'm gonna.
Jeff hanging.
It's gonna be 2-1. I'm gonna go 33, but I'm okay with 17 going through. It's a close one for me either way. It's very
Moving
close.
on.
Okay, onwards. Another recent WrestleMania 31 up against another Attitude Era WrestleMania 14. I think it's 31. I know, I'm biased. I was there. But I think throughout the card, there was no bad match on the show.
Heist of the century.
Heist of the century.
WrestleMania 14.
The streak was broken.
You just
Right? No, 30.
That was 30.
30.
Yeah. So 14 you just kind of remember as the Austin crowning, and then maybe some other random stuff on there. But I think 31. I think all in all, it's a better show.
31. Yeah, I just watched the main event last week, and I still get excited watching that because I know what's coming, and just the scene of Seth holding the championship. It's 31.
31.
Bryan
Okay.
with the IC title.
Oh yeah, Daniel Bryan Grand Slam that night.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, that afternoon it opened the show.
That afternoon, you're right.
Basically the entire show was in the daytime, which was weird.
Yeah.
I know.
And Levi Stadium, you need to work on your structure because the sun was in my eyes basically the entire show. I was blinded.
You didn't have sunglasses, man?
I did have sunglasses, but
Curb stomp into the
unfortunately,
RKO.
other people next to me did not, and they were blinded.
Oh man.
Okay, so onwards.
All right,
Good
let's go.
WrestleMania.
Another chronological WrestleMania battle we have here. WrestleMania 13 up against WrestleMania 12. WrestleMania 13 beat the 1 seed just because of one match. And I don't think WrestleMania 12 is good enough to... I think if we're just going to base off the hour-long match against the Austin-Brett match, Brett and Austin's a better match. Because I think that's basically what these WrestleManias went off of.
Yeah, they're both kind of one match manias, and I'm gonna say the double turn beats the Iron Man.
I don't know though.
I think the hour-long match, most overrated match ever.
Whoa,
It's kind of
hold on.
boring.
It's
kind of boring.
It was great.
It was boring.
It's a very
If you
good.
enjoy.
It's kind of boring.
It's a very.
enjoy wrestling like
Nothing
that.
happens for an hour.
It's a very good match, but the double turn is my favorite match of all time.
No matter what, Bret Hart's moving on to the next round.
I'm a fan of the Boyhood Dream.
Well, anyways, you get outnumbered, so
Yeah.
13
It's
it
my
is.
podcast.
Well, I don't care. It's my bracket, so I'm putting 13.
Speaking of 13, listen to Edge and Christian's podcast. Austin and Brett break down that match for you. It aired today, and it was pretty good. All right, keep going.
All right, we have WrestleMania 20, the forgotten WrestleMania, against WrestleMania 28. Once in a lifetime. I'm going with 28. I mean, I have special feelings for 20. First ever WrestleMania I ever bought. It was great, but I think 28 has, Cena and Rock. It has Triple H and Undertaker. It has CM Punk and Chris Jericho. It even has the 18-second match, which is memorable, even though it sucked. But
Because your boy lost.
I know. Shout out to, but this WrestleMania started the whole yes thing.
Yeah.
So I would
You're
go
right.
with 28.
I mean, 20,
You sold me on 28. I'm gonna go 28.
20, it had the crowning of Benoit, but, I mean, 28, my heart stopped when I thought the streak was over. I got to go 28.
The greatest kick out of all time.
Man.
Sweet Chin Music into the pedigree.
Yep.
There we
28.
go. Okay, on to the other side. We have WrestleMania 3, arguably the biggest WrestleMania ever,
Oh.
against WrestleMania 30, or YEStleMania, as people like to call it, as this episode will be known as, apparently.
Yes.
So, best WrestleMania.
Oh.
When it says best WrestleMania, this is when it gets down to, I think, 30's the better show, WrestleMania 3's the bigger show.
WrestleMania 3 is more, has a historical,
I think I picked 30.
I picked 30.
I think 30.
Miracle on Bourbon Street.
Yes, the Miracle on Bourbon Street. 3 Steamboat Savage, that's going to be talked about for
Steamboat Savage is
the
a
rest of
really good
time.
match. It was one of the first old school matches I ever saw that I really dug and really enjoyed and let me understand a little bit more about wrestling psychology and stuff. But, I mean, starting off with Bryan and Triple H, and then him coming back to the last match, Undertaker, like, it's a brilliant Mania.
I've never watched that match back, the streak ending.
What, are you going to cry?
I might.
It's a good moment.
The match itself was kind of sucky.
But the moment itself
The
was
moment,
good.
yeah. I got to go 30. I mean, it
Another number 1 seed's bounced.
Shock.
Number 3, you go.
it was just shock. When I didn't hear a 2 count. I heard 1, 3, and then there was no music. I was like, wait, what? And it was a moment in time.
So, onwards to 24, which honestly I didn't watch 24. I was not a fan during this time. WrestleMania 21 in LA. First ever Money in the Bank match.
WrestleMania goes Hollywood.
Batista and John Cena crowned as the next big things.
I know that doesn't happen. That was a pretty big moment. Then we got 24. But Flair, the retirement.
So this is great audio right now.
This can go either way. That's the problem.
Yeah, that's the problem.
The problem is that I also don't think that this Mania is going to be able to beat what it's. Either of these Manias is not going to be able to beat what it faces in the next round.
I go 21. I think 21 has a bunch of good matches on it. Kurt Angle and Shawn Michaels. Don't forget that match. Don't forget that match.
Good.
Very underrated match.
You're right.
In both
It's a
their
good match.
careers.
I gotta go 21, man.
I'll go 24 because I love that. I love that retirement match. I love that retirement match.
I mean, it was amazing. I was shocked that Angle won. I was like, oh. You know?
Ugh. All right, 21 it is.
I mean, 24, I'm sorry, but, 21 was...
It's fair.
It was a
So
very
onwards
good
to the last bracket.
one.
WrestleMania 19, WrestleMania 25.
Oh, this is hard for me.
I think there's no questions. WrestleMania 19. WrestleMania 19,
I mean...
great all-around show.
WrestleMania 19 is my favorite WrestleMania of all time.
WrestleMania 25 has arguably the best wrestling match ever.
Yeah, that's my favorite match ever. This is hard.
Yeah, can one match beat out an entire WrestleMania?
Can it? 13 did.
Yeah, 13 beat a number 1 seed. Just because of one damn match.
Exactly.
Apparently, not up to me, but up to a coin. It determined, but it is what it is.
True.
I mean, Mitchell, what you got, man?
Oh god, you're right. It's one of those. I'm gonna go 25.
Oh.
I'm gonna go 25. That match.
So I'm going 19.
That match is brilliant.
So,
that match
Mr.
is brilliant.
Podfather, you are the tiebreaker in this situation.
I got my first wrestling high. I got to go 25 now.
Wow.
That's
jeez.
Look,
that is the
WrestleMania 19. Hogan, Vince, Rock, and Austin. Angle,
Rock and
Lesnar.
Austin, that's the best of the 3 matches at WrestleMania.
I know. WrestleMania 19 is my favorite WrestleMania of all time. Don't get me wrong.
We're just going to ignore Triple H, Booker T. That never happened.
I mean, it happened. It was best for business at
Chris
the time.
Jericho and Shawn Michaels.
Oh, my God. The opener, right?
John Cena rapping, which was the promo
I
pick
do
last
love
week.
Chris Jericho, Shawn Michaels as one of my favorite WrestleMania matches.
Go 25
But that match is a match I show people who aren't into wrestling to show them why I love it, and they normally get it. So it's a special match.
Another number 1 seed's bounced. Only one left. WrestleMania X7 is the lone 1 seed remaining. So on to the last matchup. We have WrestleMania 10 up against WrestleMania 26.
10.
10.
Why? But it has Shawn Michaels and Undertaker.
I mean, I enjoyed the first match better, honestly. 10, the double, the ladder match for the undisputed Intercontinental title. Owen goes over Brett. Brett wins the championship later on in the night.
I said it last week. I'm a sucker for a WrestleMania that tells me a good story. I actually prefer their second match. I prefer WrestleMania 26 match, but
What else happened at 26? Sheamus versus Hunter? Batista versus Cena?
It's not a one-match
Legacy
Mania.
triple threat,
It's not a one-match Mania.
So you're just going to say, one match, that's not good enough. But yet you have 13 beating WrestleMania 18 because of one damn match.
It's not a one-match Mania. 10 beats it out.
10. I'm going 10.
Yep, I agree.
Fine. Whatever.
Okay.
Whatever. Okay. I'm not okay. You guys are beating up on me over here.
I'm sorry.
So anyways, we are on to the Elite 8 next week. 17 goes up against 31, 13 up against 28, 30 up against 21, 25 against 10 next week.
All right.
All right, stay tuned.
Here we go.
Let's get into the Raw recap.
Oh yeah, there was wrestling to watch.
I know, yeah, of course. So, Kurt Angle opens up the show, and he gets interrupted by Roman Reigns, a man who was suspended, a man who should have...
Breaking the law, Roman Reigns, by the way.
A man who should have stayed home
big
with
surprise.
his family. But instead, he shows up on Raw, tries to, quote-unquote, hijack it by sitting in the ring waiting for Lesnar, and he gets arrested Dislocates the
by
jaw.
marshals.
Dislocates the jaw of a U.S. Marshal, I might add.
Do you know how hard it is to get U.S. Marshals to arrest someone? That doesn't
Well,
happen.
they're in Dallas, of course.
Okay.
And then, of course, the Beast comes
Lucky
out.
they weren't armed. Maybe they would have shot him.
Oh, man. The Beast comes out and he lays out the big dog. Thoughts?
Roman Reigns, I said this last week. He was acting like an a-hole again. Those poor U.S. Marshals, all they were doing was trying to do their jobs. They arrested him, trying to get him out of the ring. And he's like, "Don't touch me." They're just trying to do their job, and he's just dislocating jaws.
Man.
And then he paid the price for it when Brock Lesnar showed up.
Oh, my God. If you saw the pictures afterwards when he finally was on the stretcher backstage, the bruises on his wrists and his arms and his fingers, I was like, oh. I mean, did this...
Bumping in handcuffs is no joke, people.
Yeah. Did this get you to care more about the feud?
I was happy to finally see a little bit of conflict between both of them. I think that this was a good. I think this was a good build. I had people. I've said this a couple times because I had a couple fun conversations this week. I had a couple friends who don't watch wrestling come up to me and be like, "Hey, did you see Brock Lesnar beat down Roman Reigns?" Because they saw it on YouTube. And I was like, yeah, I did. And they're like, are you still having your WrestleMania party that you always have? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, yeah, I want to see the match. So people who aren't in the wrestling were kind of swayed by this. So I think it was obviously effective. I preferred the talking segments that they've been doing and building that story up. I'm excited to see where they follow on from this. But I think that this was a good, this was a good way to continue the story forward a little bit more.
We have 2 Raws left, so we're going to see what they can do.
So you say this is a good way of getting Roman over as a babyface?
I mean, Dallas, they were...
That
not, Dallas crowd was dead.
That's not the that's not what they're doing.
I mean, Dallas, they were cheering the faces, booing the bad guys.
Well,
you don't
see
that happen.
Hold on. So, they did basically the same exact thing on SmackDown with Daniel Bryan. The reaction to Daniel Bryan getting beat up was way more sympathetic.
Okay.
No, you can't say, oh, it's because it's Daniel Bryan. Roman Reigns is supposed to be the number one face in the company.
No, he's not.
I mean, the guy just got...
He's supposed to be, though.
But he's not. That's not the character he is either.
No, Roman Reigns is supposed to be the number one face in the company.
I don't agree with that. I don't think.
I
think they gave
John
up.
Cena.
No, who does Vince want to be the number one face of the company?
I think they gave up on making. I
disagree with that.
I think they gave up on making Roman Reigns the number one face in the company a long time ago. I think
His main event in WrestleMania.
I think
if he was really
title.
the number one face, he wouldn't have won all these secondary titles. He would have just stayed.
No, that's Vince's way of trying to get Roman.
I think he's been a tweener for a long time.
Yeah.
I think he's been a tweener for a year or two.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying what Vince wants. What does Vince want? What does Vince want Roman to be?
I don't know what Vince wants. I'm not.
Don't
in the
lie to me.
meetings.
You know Vince wants Roman to be the number one person.
I'm not in Gorilla. I don't know what Vince McMahon wants.
Well, you
Maybe
pretend
he wants
like
a
you do all
steak
the.
wrap.
You pretend like you do all the time. Pretend right now. Don't try to dodge the questions. Don't you think Vince wants Roman to be the top star of the company?
I mean,
He hasn't been booking it that way for the last year, so I'm going to say no.
Oh my God.
He was. I mean,
I don't think so.
The way Cena became.
Then who is the top star in the company?
It's John Cena. He's the face that runs the place.
Right now,
Yes.
I think it's Strowman.
Really?
I think he's been. I think he's been using. He's been throwing him in. He's been giving him rubs all year long. He eliminated everyone in the Elimination Chamber except Roman. He scared the crap out of Triple H at the Survivor Series match and was pissed off every single time there's been a chance to make him
why
look
isn't Braun
powerful.
Strowman main eventing against Brock Lesnar?
Because they didn't. Because I don't know.
Because Roman Reigns is the top star in the company.
I think between Roman and Brock's the bigger star.
Well, yeah, we know that.
And they book him as the bigger star.
Of course, he went off to UFC, did all that stuff.
Yeah.
He's gonna do it again.
But for what I say, I think John Cena still is the biggest star in the company. The guy,
I can see that. I mean, they're going out of their way to give him a match with Undertaker when they they retired him last year.
Yeah.
And who did that?
Roman.
Oh, Roman.
He's not retired, If he's gonna have a match.
To be fair, that was a face. If you're telling me that he's the biggest face in the company, that was a face versus face match.
That's not what I'm saying. I hate Roman. I'm saying what they want Roman to be is the number one face of the company.
Well, then why they put him up against the best face in the company to retire him? Undertaker.
Because you got to make Roman look good, and you put Roman in a big spot because in that point there was no real spot for Roman to do anything because Brock was doing the thing with Goldberg. I don't know. Undertaker was the only person really left standing, so might as well give him to the Undertaker.
In my mind, Roman was it was very intentionally playing against Undertaker. He was a jerk. He didn't respect him. He gave the "It's my yard now" promo after he retired him. That was never intended to be a face fight, face versus face matchup. That was always a tweener at best versus Undertaker, if not a slightly heel versus Undertaker. I think they gave up on making him a face a long time ago. I really, really think they did.
Well, I disagree.
All right.
And I don't think we're going to agree. So
No.
maybe just move on.
Yeah.
Move on.
Before we start fighting.
Oh,
Before I take this title and shove it up, I'm just... Yeah. No profanity.
Moving on.
All right. Asuka defeats Alexa Bliss due to a countout. But Nia Jax, the story they're telling with her, I'm digging it.
I'm excited to see where it goes. I'm excited to see what the match looks like at Mania. Because, I can't imagine Bliss actually fighting Jax.
I don't know. Alexa Bliss, her facial expressions, they really do tell a great story. She looks scared. She looks very, very frightened about what's going on. And having Mick and James by her side to take a lot of the beatings is really, I like that. Having a heater with her,
I think she's low-key one of the best heels in WWE right now.
Yeah.
I think they're doing a good job telling the story.
It's like Karen and Regina from Mean Girls,
Who? No one knows what that is.
Yeah, no, yeah.
I make
Do you even
references like
go here?
What?
What?
There's a little Mean Girls reference for everyone out there.
I never watched Mean Girls, but I know
Mean
what
Girls
it
is a fantastic film.
I saw it one time.
It's a great movie.
That's it. All right. Moving on from that, my boy LeBron Strowman defeats Cesaro, but Kurt Angle has told him he needs to have a partner at WrestleMania.
Who is it going to be?
Do you think we find out at any point between now and WrestleMania?
Who wants to walk with Elias? Because that's my pick.
Or James Ellsworth?
It's gotta be one of the two. It's gonna be one of those two people. I think while Elias makes more sense, the disappointing thing about Elias is that Elias is too strong, if that makes sense. Like, he doesn't suck enough to be Braun Strowman's tag team partner. I want someone worse to be Strowman's partner. If that makes any sense.
I see what you're saying.
Like, Elias was in the Elimination Chamber. Elias was in the mix. He didn't beat Cena. He wrestled Cena. Who did he beat? He beat someone really
Finn Balor.
He beat Balor. Like, he's not a nobody. And so it's weird to see him be in that role with Strowman. Or I could imagine, like, Elias and Rollins being an actual tag team. Like, not storyline wise, but as far as, like, strength level wise, I could see those two being, like, a legitimate formidable tag team.
I'm just wondering how they're going to get Strowman. If it is Elias, why would Strowman pick Elias? Because I was kind of thinking maybe they do something where Braun doesn't pick him. He just says, like, the next person I see, and then Elias strolls in. He's like, yeah, whatever. But then, they're kind of built. Elias wasn't on the show, right, this week?
Yeah.
Last week is when he walked out.
Yeah.
That's all running together.
I'd be down for him to just knock somebody out like Elias and walk out to Mania dragging that person behind him down the ramp into the thing and just doing it on his own.
Maybe beats up James Ellsworth.
James
Ellsworth gets his WrestleMania moment.
Yep.
All right, the Revival. No flips, just fists. They defeat Titus Worldwide.
It's going to be a long road.
This is the tag division.
Yeah.
Everyone just beats each other right now.
Yeah. It's going to be a long road for Revival to have a revival, but I believe in them.
I see what you did there.
I believe in them.
It's funny.
All
Do
right.
my best.
Moving on from that, Absolution. Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville. They go on to defeat Bayley and Sasha Banks.
Continuing the feud between the two faces. Still don't know exactly where they're going.
Didn't Sasha enter the Women's Battle Royal?
Yeah, so...
I guess that's not happening.
I'm sure Bayley will as well, and they will be the final two.
Oh, well, I guess that's some sort of a payoff.
It's probably just going to build to them, fighting. Because they haven't really touched each other when they're...
They haven't, like,
on
an
Elimination Chamber.
Yeah, they haven't on an even playing field fought each other yet. This will be like the equivalent of when they had the blow off to Sandow and Miz's storyline in the Andre the Battle Memorial Battle Royal Memorial Battle Royal,
which Sandow should have won.
Andre the
That one.
Memorial Battle Royale.
That one.
It's a lot of words.
Shout out to my boy Big Show winning that Battle
Well,
Royale.
Sandow should have won that.
Sandow should have won that Battle Royal.
Aaron Rex? I don't know.
Well, he should have.
All right, moving
Who cares
on.
about Big Show winning a Battle Royal?
I do.
I did. I was there, and I wanted Sandow to win.
Shout out Show.
Darn it.
All right, John Cena has a promo, and who shows up? It's gotta be Kane.
All right, I see. Building it slowly.
So we got 2 more shows left.
Do you think we'll see
He's
Taker?
wrestling Kane. I was getting to that.
Undertaker's in the Kane mask.
Do we see really?
Really?
Kane's looking a little big.
He's looking a little chunky.
He's been
Yeah.
looking a little big for a while.
Vote Glenn Jacobs for Knoxville County Mayor.
I know people are saying vote him in Knoxville so we can get off our TV. I'm like, that's kind of messed up. But I see what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like you just said, we have 2 more left. Does Taker show up at all?
Do we get at least like a sound effect?
I think we get a gong next week and it causes Kane to win.
Or Did we get a motorcycle sound effect?
Oh.
I mean, that's the whole thing. Apparently everyone like wants to see this. Everyone wants to see the American Badass return.
Yeah, they did like a poll, and the American Badass won, beat out the.
So,
Look, that's the storyline. Like, I mean, I get it. The American Badass was never as captivating of a character as the Dead Man. I get the Dead Man was a better character.
But the American Badass, like, that was Cena's first encounter with the Undertaker.
Yeah.
And then
There's a story there.
Exactly, and Cena wrestled the
And
American Badass once back like in 2003.
And Cena's kind of calling out the man. He's calling out Mark Calloway. He's not really calling out the Undertaker. I mean, he is, but he's kind of taking shots at him personally.
Go on John Cena's Instagram. He posted a photo of Undertaker in WCCW as Texas Red. He was calling out the immortalized version of the Undertaker. So.
Yeah, because the immortalized version got beat last year.
Exactly.
It's good. It's
the number one face in the company.
It's a good story.
No, but seriously, if Undertaker comes back as the Dead Man, that all would have been for nothing.
Yeah, the whole last year's WrestleMania, it will be very much tainted.
And then, people say, like, oh, he was at Raw 25 in the Taker get-up, so, I mean, does that really mean he retired?
That really disappointed me. That was
he
one of
didn't
the things
show up on the coat or the hat, so,
Yeah, he did. He did the whole promo in the coat and the hat.
Yeah, didn't he? He showed
with
up
the robe thing,
No.
with the hood.
I thought he showed up with everything.
I don't remember.
I remember the hat.
Look it up.
Look it up.
I don't remember.
While we look it up, moving on from that, Miz TV. Thoughts, comments, concerns, questions? Hey, I really like this Miz TV.
I like this one a lot bit more than last week's.
Tyler Black and Prince, well, he messed up Devitt. I think he said Mevitt. Are going to go back to bingo halls and two sweet each other.
Well, that makes sense. Why would he mess it up? Because Miz doesn't care.
Exactly. I love it.
Yeah, I enjoyed this a
lot.
lot.
I love promos like that. The shoot work promos. I dig them. I really.
Because it really is this WWE character that has been around and has proved himself and has seized everything without having ever been like on the indies. And it's him facing down the two work rate boys. Like it's really fun to see this. Where I really hope Miz wins. I really hope he retains.
I do too. And then with the superstar shakeup, if a certain bearded man can move over to Monday nights, or if Miz can come over to SmackDown Live, we can get that finished off.
Mm-hmm.
But moving on from Miz TV, the Balor Club. Oh, what did you think?
Undertaker was in a hood. He wasn't in the coat and the hat. So, good job.
That's good.
Good job. Good for
That's
you.
good.
Even though he's still the Undertaker. But anyways.
Yes.
I'm okay. I'm not the biggest fan of these whole shoot-style promos because then it just kind of emphasizes that everything else is fake.
But it's a shoot, brother.
I know. I mean, that's what WCW did, and look what happened to them. Everything was a shoot. But, I mean...
It works with Miz's character.
It's kind of... I don't know what to think about it because, like, it gets me, like, pissed off at Miz, but then obviously that's what's supposed to happen. And so, it's not going too far. Like, it's not, like, destroying everything else on the show right now. It's kind of his own little bubble.
Moving on from that, Balor Club, they go on to defeat the Miz Tourage.
They better.
Yeah, as they should.
Yes, I enjoyed that. I loved every minute of it. All right, and then after that, we have a Ronda Rousey video package.
This was so good.
It was I enjoyed it.
I love this. This is
can always
exactly
count on
what
the
you need
WWE.
to do with someone who cannot speak.
Hey, you've been saying that for like the past like couple weeks now. They need to just use video packages. I think they're listening, guy.
Well, it's because it's smart. Because I mean, this is what the UFC does. Every time before the show starts, they run video packages. They do interviews. They talk about what they're going to do. This is what Ronda Rousey did. I mean, the good thing about this is like it's kind of like the Brock Lesnar thing, where they kind of go back to these video packages and kind of replay them. You can go back to these and you can kind of play her out to be a heel if you want.
Yeah.
Because she was kind of like, oh, people think of me as a blah blah, and you can just kind of go back. You can say that on the air. I think you can. You should run it past the executives. I'm just quoting what they said. But if you want to bleep it out if you want. We all know what Ronda said. Anyways, 34 minutes. That's when I cussed. If you like to knock it out. So, anyways, I think Ronda did great.
It was delightful.
And maybe next time don't beep it out so high. I was listening back. It kind of scared me. It almost pierced my eardrums.
That's the point. No, but going on with the video package, I enjoyed it. She talked about her defeats and her suicidal thoughts. She talked about her husband, getting her through all that.
Shout out Travis Brown.
Shout out to the big boy. I really enjoyed this. It was very well done.
And it showed more for...
You can always count the WWE to make a good video package.
Yeah, production.
It's not as good as... what's his face's package? Austin Aries' package.
Shout out the belt
package.
collector, the title collector, as he's been known as of late.
Not a good package. Not a bad package.
It's the greatest package
The
of all
package.
time.
My package.
All right. Yes, wonderful.
The ultimate deletion.
Deities brought us to the ultimate deletion. Yes. Thoughts.
I mean, did you like the original the first final
Honestly,
deletion?
I had to go back and watch the final deletion.
I
after
watched
I watched this.
I watched the final deletion in preparation for. I watched both the previous deletions in preparation for the Ultimate Deletion.
I went in like, what are we gonna do? And Michael Cole kind of just really no-selling it.
Burying it.
Yeah, why would
And
you?
this was cut from Hulu, by the way.
Yeah, why would you bury
Yeah.
something?
The only time a final segment of the show has been kicked off of Hulu.
Yeah, it's super weird.
Why would you bury something that people are about to watch? Why would you say it's no good and then like expect people to watch
But
it?
then that also kind of helps it too, because
Yeah.
if Michael Cole endorses him, Michael Cole endorses Roman Reigns, he endorses Sasha Banks, and it just doesn't help if Michael Cole is just putting over the talent super strong. Oh, one thing I forgot to talk about this. Back when Lesnar killed Roman Reigns in the segment, they were putting it on strong about how bad this thing Lesnar did to Roman Reigns. It was a little too much.
Yeah.
Anyways, back to the Ultimate Deletion.
Back to the Ultimate Deletion. Word on the street is Vince McMahon's thought it was gonna bomb. It was gonna be bad, but
I love it.
Ratings
I
were
loved
good
it.
for it.
ratings were very good.
Yeah, ratings were very good.
They
Lots of
kept
views on
people
YouTube.
in the third hour, and when Vince found that out, he was like, "Oh, we gotta do it again." You know, so this was very. I enjoyed it. It wasn't too like WWE produced.
No, it
Thank
felt.
God
it
for
felt
Jeremy Borash coming into the company, and him and Matt. They just did this. I mean, we got to see Vanguard 1, the Chair of Wheels,
Yep.
the Mower
Skarsgård.
of Lawns,
Shout out to Skarsgård.
George
Skarsgård.
Washington. We got to see him.
We're
Senior-
smoking Joe though.
the Lake
I
of
don't know.
Reincarnation.
The Lake of Reincarnation, Senior Benjamin, Queen Rebecca,
Everyone.
King Maxwell.
The
His,
debut of Lord Wolfgang.
Yes,
Lord Wolfgang. It was
Yeah,
so
this
good.
very well done.
It was very. They just let them do
Brother
it.
Nero.
Brother Nero
Brother Nero
For
made
a
an
split second.
appearance.
got the whole world in his hands.
I know. I loved this. It was very well done.
I didn't love it. I think the ones in TNA were better.
Well,
but it kind of just hit all the points. Like
Yeah.
like if you've never seen one before, you kind of get the idea.
Mm-hmm.
My favorite part was when they were in the graveyard and they kind of did the
Oh,
whole
yeah.
kooky thing and they were running all over the place. 'Cause that's
That was fun.
that's something they never did before, and I got a kick out of that.
Yeah, that
that
was
was pretty
part.
funny.
That was them obviously being like, we can do a little bit more now.
So
we have
Bray
a little
Wyatt
bit more
gets,
of a budget.
He gets pinned. Matt wins.
Yep.
And then he throws him to the Lake of Reincarnation.
And then he's gone.
he says he's been deleted. So word on the street is Bray Wyatt is going to be repackaged.
He better be.
Do we think he'll be? I know if he comes back as just what he just was, then it will be
Straight up,
completely.
They're gonna run with it this time.
Do you think
No.
he'll come back as
Husky
Sister?
Harris.
No,
I'm joking.
no.
No,
I've heard some people think that he'll come back as like NXT Bray
No, he should
Wyatt.
come back as like IRS. IRS Bray Wyatt. You heard it here first.
Oh my gosh.
I think he comes back as not
IRS
a cult
Junior.
leader, but a follower of the Woken Wisdom.
Probably, I could see that.
IRS Junior.
That's
He'll come in those robes and those weird robes that they wear. Maybe.
That's
I
fair.
mean, I think it just has to be something just. I don't know if you want to do like just straight up comedy, but it has to be something just
gotta be
crazy. It has to be something
different.
weird.
Well, I don't know.
I'm excited. I hope
We'll
they do
see.
some. I mean, they have to do something, at least a vignette of how if Bray Wyatt does come back, if he doesn't come back, until after WrestleMania, they have to do something with them.
Of course.
So we have to go
Yeah.
back to the Hardy compound.
Yes.
I imagine that they're gonna somehow use this for WrestleMania. They have 2 more weeks. There's a reason they did they didn't do the Ultimate Deletion on like the Go Home show to open it or something like that. There's a reason they did it 2 weeks ahead of Mania. They have 2 weeks to develop a storyline.
Very true.
We'll see.
All right. Well,
And if you looked on YouTube, Senior Benjamin found the lantern and gave it to Matt.
oh,
See, you gotta watch the YouTube videos.
the House of Horrors burned house was in there too.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta throw that in there.
And
WWE going back to stuff that doesn't happen that often.
Matt Hardy got to do something to that lawnmower. That lawnmower is very slow.
Yeah.
I know.
A little add nitro to it or something.
Yeah. Well, Ronda Rousey, she wasn't on Raw, but she was there. She had a segment.
She was in the building.
Yeah.
This either happened after Raw went off, or it happened during the Ultimate
They didn't
Deletion.
even they didn't even show the Ultimate Deletion in the arena.
Yeah,
which
they
is another
didn't?
thing.
I,
No,
I think they learned.
Yeah, true. It's hard to show.
House
It's
of
hard.
Horrors and
It's hard to
Mania
show a
25.
video in a live audience.
but
so-
at least this was in the end. So people, if they didn't want to watch, they could just leave.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had a couple matches, and Ronda, she comes out, very small, little promo. Dana Brooke comes out,
Yeah. I get
the statistician from
whatever she is.
Titus Worldwide. She gets thrown by rowdy Ronda Rousey.
Yeah, just get to beat someone up. It's good.
It was not that great. I know you can't put a lot of blame on this because Ronda's green, Dana Brooke's Dana Brooke. I mean, Ronda. Right now, I don't know if it was like it wasn't scripted or anything, so she was just out there and just do what you want to do. It was a little cringy, to be
Yeah.
honest.
I mean, I'm down with Ronda throwing people. Let's make it look better.
Yeah, Dana Brooke, I think landed on that microphone. Didn't look very good.
Yeah.
Oof.
Shout out to
Popped
the
You know?
What?
What?
Keep it PG, bro.
Nothing. All right, SmackDown recap. So we open up with Daniel Bryan, the Yes Man, giving a very heartfelt promo.
Promo of the year candidate?
Yeah, it might be. We'll see when we do a Casties again.
It is for me.
If we're even around.
If we're even around.
Oh my God.
After 100 episodes, I'm done. I'm
Just that
retiring.
that moment of him saying, "I don't know if like when the next time I wrestle will be," and the crowd does it.
The
for
crowd
him.
doesn't point at the sign, guys.
Yeah, the crowd points at the
because
sign.
everybody knows if you just point at it, you're gonna get a match.
You
That's
can
how
just
it works.
feel Vince McMahon with just this raging to hard on for this. This is what he wanted. This is what he wanted. Like, you can't write this. This is the audience doing storytelling for him. This is what makes wrestling great, is that the audience can do something like that.
Yeah, I think Bryan's one of the last guys that naturally swayed Vince's decision. You know, but
How did he naturally sway his decision?
I'm talking about.
Pretty sure the crowd did,
Yeah,
because
the
the
fans,
crowd
that's what I
just poo-pooed off, Batista winning that Royal Rumble. But anyways, I think this is an example of why you shouldn't script promos.
Just let it
Script,
happen.
just go out there. I know you can't do this with everybody.
Because it helps that this was also all real. This wasn't.
But even like
A
afterwards,
storyline.
I mean, even afterwards when he's like, talking about wanting to come back and all that stuff.
Plus, since Daniel's been in the GM position, his mic work has gotten better. So
I mean, even before, I think Daniel Bryan's an underrated promo. He's not the best. I mean, but he's
funny.
He has
He's a
been.
funny guy.
Yeah, I think he's gone a lot more.
I think it's like when he's just being himself, he's
Yeah.
a lot better promo than when he has to script and hit all these lines. So I don't know if it's going to affect him when he goes forward, actually trying to promote matches and stuff like this. But this, showing that go out there, just talk what you want to do. It just shows that promos don't have to be scripted to be great.
Yeah.
Very true.
No, it was really good.
All right. Shinsuke Nakamura defeats Rusev. Happy Rusev Day.
I don't know why they keep putting the top baby faces in the company up against Rusev, who's like the hottest thing going right now.
Yeah.
It just doesn't, especially Nakamura. Like, I love Nakamura. He's not ice cold, but he's just, I don't know what to do with Nakamura right now.
He's not as hot as
He should be like blazing
No.
hot going into WrestleMania right
Yeah.
now, and he's not. It's basically just like, okay, they're gonna have a great match. Everyone just
They're just banking on, like, oh, these two can put on a 5-star with a hand tied behind their back. Just let them go out and do their
Feels like
thing.
Nakamura's lost some of his aura as well.
yeah.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, that's what happens when you come out and do your shtick every week.
And
It's
also,
bound to happen.
And also, they haven't really in NXT. They let him have this power that they haven't let him have in on the main roster. Because I remember, like, early on, he would finish matches. Like, there were a couple. He had a couple squashes where he just kicked the guy in the head and the match was over. He never really got that in WWE. Like, his first match was against Dolph, which was like a 20-minute slog. Like, and I love both those wrestlers, but it was a slog to get through. And like his match with Rusev at Fastlane. No, what was
Yes,
it?
Fastlane.
It was actually a good match, but again, it was kind of slow and it wasn't super exciting
We don't
at
know who to
times.
cheer for.
Yeah, and you don't know who to cheer for. He needs more. They need to give his moveset more power. Like, people need to sell for him a little bit more. He needs to knock a couple people out easily. Have him just. I don't even know what you could have done. Like, because you're right, they're putting him against Rusev. I don't know what. Put him against Aiden English and have him kick him in the head and have it be over and squash him in a second.
Yeah.
Maybe, but I don't
Put
know.
him against Ty Dillinger. Who cares about Ty Dillinger anymore?
I used to.
Used to. Not anymore.
All right, Asuka has a video package.
It was a good package. Not
Yeah.
as good as Ronda's.
Not as good as Austin's, but you know.
But, I mean, see, this is kind of like, you can have the Ronda package where you have them do a sit-down interview, and you do, like, compilations and stuff like that in the background. Like, the Ronda package, they showed UFC stuff, which I don't know if they ever really showed that before. Like,
Yeah.
like, for Brock, they would just show, like, pictures.
like a photo.
Like, yeah, they would show, like, Associated Press pictures, not actual, like, UFC stuff. But,
Yeah.
Asuka's package, it was good. I mean, it's stuff they've done in the past with Asuka before. The problem is she can't speak that well, so
So is Asuka a free agent? I mean,
I think it's just she has the power of the
Yeah, I
Royal
think it's
Rumble.
that she was able to say, like, I want to be on SmackDown. Like, I don't know if she. I imagine that if she beats Charlotte, she will stay on SmackDown. But if she loses to Charlotte, she will go back to Raw.
yeah.
I have a
Maybe
feeling that's where it's
maybe
going.
she just goes to Raw and the SmackDown champions on Raw and the
Oh.
Raw champions on SmackDown. It just confuses everybody.
And we
No.
just end the brand split.
Baron Corbin, the Lone Wolf, defeats the Perfect 10, Ty Dillinger.
Don't care. They had a botched ending, which I didn't watch because I fast forwarded through the match.
All right, Natty defeats Charlotte.
Great match. I thought it was a really good
It's
match.
always a great match with Natty and Charlotte.
Natty's a great worker.
I know. Shout out, Natty.
Shout out to that crazy cat lady.
All
Two
right,
paws.
all right. Luke Harper defeats Jimmy Uso.
Right?
Good. I mean, another good promo by the Usos.
Yeah.
It's kind of, boilers. It's just whatever. We're just gonna build to a triple threat match apparently.
And unfortunately, if they don't do something soon, I have a bad feeling it's going to be on the pre-show.
Yeah. We'll see.
Which is unfortunate for the Usos because they deserve a main roster show.
I mean, they better be because the whole promo has been talking about them being on the show.
Yep.
All right, the U.S. title picture. They have a segment on SmackDown.
And no one cares.
Yeah, I mean,
it's
when
gonna
you
be
got like the 3 most boring people in the company in one feud.
Yeah.
Bobby Roode needs to turn heel.
I know that's what we need.
Yeah,
turn heel. Get rid of Glorious.
Bobby Roode
I
is
need some off the chain like back in TNA. I need the it factor.
Well,
I don't need the Glorious Bobby Roode. I need the it factor of professional wrestling to come back.
But I think the thing is with the Glorious gimmick is more of a heel gimmick, and
Yeah,
he's a babyface. All he does is just say Glorious, and it's like okay,
heel
whatever.
Glorious Bobby Roode in NXT was great. The businessman with the
Well,
I'm
yeah,
here to
I
make.
mean-
That was a great gimmick that fit him perfectly, and
It was fine.
He was
But it's
great.
I mean, that's what happens at WWE. Just Vince takes like, oh, he's glorious, so he's just gonna beat that in the ground. He's like, just keep saying glorious, talk about how glorious you are. But then when you're a babyface, it's like, okay, what else you got to do?
This is a feud where no one is where they need to be because Randy Orton only cares when he's a heel. He needs to be a heel again. Robert Roode. Robert Roode. Bobby Roode doesn't work with his current gimmick as a heel, and Jinder Mahal just needs to not be in the WWE. So none of the three of them are where they need to be right now. The whole feud just needs to get dropped. Like all
Jinder's
three of
fine
them.
where he is.
No,
He's fine where he's now, but I don't want him
I don't want him to
facing
win.
AJ for the championship again.
Put that strap back on my boy.
No.
I'm down for it.
No.
I'm down for it. All right. Naomi and Becky Lynch defeat the Riot Squad.
Good for them. Give him that Becky.
Yes. All right. Moving on from that, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, they destroy.
Oh, it felt so good. It felt so good to watch.
He was throwing.
Dana Bryan's back.
That suplex.
This was like Dana Bryan saying, I ain't holding anything back.
Here's the thing for you guys. If they just went with this segment and like they didn't do the announcement of him being cleared, how would you react? How would that feel?
I mean, it would have raised eyebrows, like, because Daniel Bryan hasn't been touched at all since he's been a general manager, which would have made it a lot bigger deal if nothing got out.
I think that could have been more effective.
Yeah.
It could have been more effective.
That's my spin on it. But I noticed Bryan, he was doing stuff kind of differently. Like when he would do the drop kick in the corner, he would kind of land on his hands.
No, he landed on his head a couple times. He did not land gracefully on those drop kicks in the corner.
I mean, he landed on like kind of his head like once. I'm talking like he did.
Hey, that's all it takes.
That's
all it takes.
One of them kind of landed on his hand, got up quicker. He did the yes kicks. It was great. But then the haluva kick, that looked pretty stiff. I see Daniel selling differently than he used to.
Yeah.
I mean, you look on Total Divas. He was talking to Sammy about how he has like this newfound way to wrestle, like just groundwork and like
if he was gonna
mat
wrestle
holds
Brock,
and stuff.
Yeah. On that super kick, you see Sammy like turn his head at the last second. He definitely pushes Daniel's head out of that way. I thought personally watching it, I thought Kevin and Sammy were really careful.
I mean, you don't want to give him a concussion when this is your WrestleMania match.
You want to do it right off.
There's some very careful camera cuts when they were doing the powerbomb onto the apron.
Yeah.
Just don't have Dana Bryan wrestle Sheamus because apparently when they wrestle each other, stuff happens to Dana Bryan. Keep him away from Sheamus.
Yes. All right. Well,
but it was good. It was a good.
There was a great picture on WWE.com of like the powerbomb and Daniel's hair just all in the air.
Yeah.
It was great.
Where does this? I mean, because obviously the story it's going Shane and Daniel versus Cammy.
Who does the most work for Shane and Daniel though?
I think
or will it be an equal amount?
Okay. If you want a better match, you have Dana Bryan take most of the thing. But if you want to tell the better story, you have Shane take the beating and then give the hot tag to Bryan.
Exactly, give the hot tag to Bryan. Is he gonna do like all that other?
But the thing is, you can have Shane be like an egomaniac and say like, Bryan, I'm gonna take care of it. I got this, and he starts the match off.
Yeah, but where does the story go with this? Because up until now, the story has been that Daniel and Shane aren't on the same page, and Daniel's not turning heel.
I think they're on the same page now.
See, this is why I want to know the timeline of what happened because like how long have they been doing this shtick for like 3-4 months?
Yeah.
And it seems like they were going to go to this tag match if maybe.
Are we talking about
but then it kind of felt like they kind of derailed it and they kind of focused more on Shane and then they kind of had Sammy and Kevin Owens, break up and they bring back together and we're just going to ignore that they, fought each other a couple weeks ago.
Are we talking about like KO and Shane and then all the way up until all this?
Well, because
that's like 5 months. Like
exactly, because they've been kind of building towards this.
It's been a long build. This match has probably had the longest build of any match at Mania, except for Roman and
they kind of hit the wall like in January because they were kind of like they didn't know what else to do.
Yeah.
And so I don't know, because Bryan said whatever like 2 months ago is when he asked him to look at his case again. If that's really true, then
yeah.
It was kind of because they kind of were like going in a different direction after Fastlane, and then they kind of go right
Here's
back
my
to the Daniel Bryan thing.
Here's my prediction. I think what's going to happen is in the next 2 weeks, Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens the match will get made because the match hasn't even been made yet for the tag team.
Yeah. They're not even with the company right now.
The match is going to get made, and their careers are going to be on the line. I think that's where we're going. And I think that Shane is going to, at the end of the match and Mania, try and cheat to win because he wants to get rid of them so bad, and Daniel Bryan's going to stop him, and it's going to effectively be a heel turn for Shane. Because you can't turn Daniel heel. That's dumb. It's just a bad idea. He's too good of a face, and the crowd won't let that happen. Right. But at the same time, Cammy are heels, and
but then
you
how do
can't
you have
make them
Daniel
faces.
Bryan lose his first match back?
He might just have to.
I don't think you want Daniel Bryan losing. But then I don't know how, because they fired him. Do you just like ship him off to Raw and do that?
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean it's all muddy what they do.
All right.
But I'm intrigued because I don't know what's gonna happen.
Yep.
Superstar Spotlight.
Daniel Bryan.
I'm going to go Zack Sabre Jr., the New Japan Cup winner. We're not talking about New Japan. Zack
really
Sabre Jr. ran through the entire competition, beat everybody that was
really good promo afterwards
too. Win. Had a great promo afterwards. Haven't seen anything, but whatever. And we haven't even talked about New Japan Strong Style Evolve that's coming up this Sunday. Honestly, not as big of a deal as last year. Why you give me that face? Don't give me that face. We should do a New Japan show because we love New Japan so much.
We love New Japan. We also didn't talk about NXT, which was great this week, by the way.
But anyway,
Ciampa wants to beat up old ladies.
Yeah, that grandma.
I'm fine with that.
Shout out to that grandma.
Shout out Ciampa.
And shout out to Mustafa Ali. Gonna go to Mania.
Mustafa Ali is going to WrestleMania. That's gonna be Mage. For me,
come on, today, Junior.
I'm going Brock Lesnar, showing up on Raw.
What a low bar. He just has to show up.
Hey, he shows up to the house shows.
I know. He was at the Garden last week.
He was in Minnesota.
All right, Brandon, what is your promo pick of the week?
So my promo pick is on Raw when Triple H and then you go face-to-face, and Triple H basically buries the entire company and all their superstars by saying that they're the last of the Outlaws. This is going up there against WrestleMania 28.
Oh, all right.
So, yeah. I forget the date, but you can find it. It's like Last of the Outlaws, something like that.
2012. You can find it.
It really builds this match up, but for everything else, it kind of just buries all the rest of the talent, which is what Triple H likes to do.
Yeah,
build himself up so much, and who cares about everything else? Because I'm so great. Because I'm the gamer.
People say Hunter buried everybody, but then they praised him for NXT. Make up your minds, people. Jesus,
I think the promoter Triple H I like. The wrestler Triple H sometimes. I mean, you can even see sometimes.
He's part of the clique.
I mean, yeah. Sometimes Triple H wants to put himself over. Because, I mean, in the next couple of years, I'm pretty sure we're going to regard Triple H as like the greatest of all time, even though we all know that's not going to happen. Even though Triple H has all the power.
All right, my closing match pick of the week. The Game. Triple H, the Cerebral Assassin, goes up against the Yes Man, Daniel Bryan. The opening match of WrestleMania 30 back in 2014.
Best match of the show.
It's Act 1.
It's Act 1 of what would later go on for Daniel Bryan to have the Miracle on Bourbon Street and become WWE World Heavyweight Champion.
And I do agree, it's the best match on the show.
It was very well done. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are on Twitter at BulletCast, Instagram The BulletCast, YouTube The BulletCast, Facebook BulletCast. We're on iTunes, SoundCloud, Stitcher, TuneIn, Google Play. We're all over the damn place.
Mm-hmm.
If you want us, you can find us.
K-Dub 99.9 in Watsonville. That's where we are also. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this has been the BulletCast.
So we're just going to ignore Strong Style Evolved.
Exactly.
Why?
Goodbye.
Golden
and
Lovers
good
against the
night.
Young Bucks.
Bang.
It's going to be a